Good morning, Team Apollo. So this is for the week of April 7th through the 13th. So I know with you being virtual, you will not have to do this. We are going to take a minute to add a new page to your reading log. So we'll get to that. So I'm still trying to keep you guys focused over here on this side. So virtual kids, you will watch the Edpuzzle video and answer the questions. We're going to wrap up Unit 4 on our Avid eBinder, and then we will start our Unit 5 in our Avid eBinder. You can do some vocab practice for Unit 5. We are going to be working on our argument unit. So you will also be doing some tutorial notes, level up tutorial notes over argument, and you'll have a discussion board to do. And then don't forget, you should always be reading at least hopefully 5 days per week for 20 or 30 minutes. So first, let's go ahead and wrap up Unit 4 in your Avid eBinder. So remember to get to your Avid eBinder. You either have it starred, or I always go to it by clicking on the squares here and then click on Sites. And then once it pulls up in Sites, you should be able to pull it up. And it's a little slow this morning. So remember, you go to Reading and you go to Unit 4. And you should have, we took for Unit 4, we took 3 sets of notes. We took nonfiction text structure notes, drama notes, and poetry notes. What I was hoping that you would do here is go ahead and put your test quiz grades for the nonfiction test, the drama test, and the poetry test. So I think you guys had, instead of 10 points, yours was 21. And so if you ended up getting an 18 out of 21, you could just do that. And then I had you guys do a discussion board for what your favorite song was. So you guys didn't have to do these slides. The in-person kids are actually doing some slides for that. So it's up to you if you just add the name of your song here, or if you want to link it to your discussion board. And then you did a learning log for me about what you learned for Unit 4. So that goes in the last section. So pause a moment and make sure that you've added your notes, you've added your test scores, you've added your most meaningful song, and then your learning log. And then just take a look at that SMART goal. So were you able to meet your SMART goal? If you did or didn't, you should have been able to add that into your learning log from last. And I do have the learning log as a part of this quarter. So you can always do the learning log now. In fact, if you look into our materials section, you will see that that I have that for you here. So the Unit 4 learning log is right here. The meaningful song discussion board is right here.
I need to charge it.
Right there. And then just make sure you bring it back to me after class, okay? All right, so you can see you still have those to do. If you would like to do that, go ahead and do that. Or if you haven't done it, please make sure that you do it. All right, now we're going to make another sheet for our 4th quarter reading log. So remember, you had a couple of ways you can go about finding your 4th quarter reading log. So remember that your reading log should be linked to the very first page of your reading. It's linked right here, or the other way to go about doing that is to look in Sheets, because your reading log is a sheet, and just open up Sheets, and then it should be one of the very last things that you opened. Probably for me, I have a lot of things here, but you can see that I've got everybody's kind of reading log here, so that's why I have to kind of if I can Google mine this way. Okay. All right, so once you have your reading log open, remember that you just go right down here to the plus sign. You click on the plus. Oh, actually, you know what? Somebody showed me how to do this a little bit easier, so let me do that. If we go here and then I just click duplicate, then I end up with it. So I'm just going to change my name now. Rename and then put fourth quarter. Okay, so remember your goal is to try to read a couple of books these last few months of school. So I'd say your goal should be probably 2 books, but if you're doing it by entry, you know, if you're doing 10 entries for the quarter, that's going to be okay. So read, enjoy what you're reading. If you're reading comic books, those are shorter, so you should be able to read more books, or graphic novels. If you're reading longer chapter books, you may only finish 1 book. So I would tell you, though, push for it. Try to read as much as you can, because that is going to help you be a better student, better thinker, better learner. So pause this, and then make sure you've added your 4th quarter reading log. All right, so here's what we have coming up. Unit 5 is our analysis of the argument. So we're going to spend 3 or 4 weeks on this. We're going to be reading multiple articles. I'm going to be doing a read aloud in class. I haven't decided if I'm going to have you guys do this or not. I'm just not sure how that's going to work, you being virtual. So right now, I'm not sure about that for you. Unit 6 is dystopian themed, and my hope is that we can read 1 book. I'm hoping that it's going to be more of a book club kind of situation, but again, I'm not really sure for you virtual kids. I did book clubs virtually last year when we were on quarantine, but we shall see how that happens. But hopefully you are going to stay focused and finish strong for 4th quarter. All right, so let's move on to Unit 5, analysis of the argument. So I have 2 short videos I would like you to watch. So it's linked here, and then it's linked here. So I want you to go ahead and watch those 2 videos. Hopefully those will work correctly. Just to give you an idea of kind of what we're doing, we are going to be looking at and reading about key issues. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be studying both sides of the issue. Eventually, after you get done with your poetry unit, you'll be writing an argument, but you need to know both sides, the argument and the counter argument. So let's go ahead and go back to our Avid eBinder, and we are going to look at our Unit 5 and kind of set that up. So go to Reading, Unit 5. So you're going to see that we are going to focus on some topics, hopefully, that you will be interested in. I already have our essential outcomes here, our essential questions and guiding questions, and our SMART goal is what we need to do. So here's our big ideas. These are really our essential questions. So we are just going to copy this and take it over to our Avid eBinder and paste it. So our essential questions or guiding questions is, it is important to know how an argument is structured so no one can differentiate fact from opinion. So one can differentiate fact from opinion, understand the relevant information, and make one's own opinions better supported. An argument should have sound and relevant support because one's opinion is only as strong as the evidence given to support it. So you will do that, and then you will be writing your SMART goal. We will be having a traditional, I think we are doing a traditional test for this one. So there's a Unit 5 checklist here that you guys can always open and take a look at. So we will actually be, you guys will actually be building your own argument. And I guess that will be your final assessment, is you will be building your own argument. So I guess you're going to need to say what you expect to earn on your final assessment argument. So we will try, I'm hoping we're going to do some form of debate, but you're going to have to know both sides of the issue. We will be doing some focus notes today that you will be able to embed here. All right, so those are really our big ideas. Here's some key vocabulary: argument, claim, counterclaim, evaluate, evidence, rebuttal, relevant. The evidence, we're going to learn about in our notes today: logical appeal, emotional appeal, logical fallacy, commonplace assertions. So you will have those to look at. In our Unit 5 overview, you will also see a link to our Quizlet practice. So it is right here. Oops, that is very tiny. You will be able to go through these vocab words here: trace, evaluate, argument, irrelevant, opposing, reasoning, relevant, claim. Some of these are review, evidence, warrant. So you will be able to go through those and learn about our vocab for the week or for the next 4 weeks. All right, our learning goal. You will be able to evaluate an author's argument, assessing whether the reasoning is sound and the evidence is relevant and sufficient to support claims. So in real life, we have to do this all the time. When politicians want to tell us their opinion, or if somebody's trying to talk you into buying something, you're trying to figure out if their argument is sound and if it makes sense and their claims are sensical. Goal 2, you will be able to describe a speaker's argument and claims, evaluating reasons in order to ask questions that help support the argument or help explain the argument. So you have to be able to ask questions in life, because if you just believe everything you hear, you're going to be in real trouble. You've got to be, when you hear something, be able to research it yourself to find out why you should be doing it. So one of the things right now on the ballot for Smithville is becoming a part of the Maple Woods Community College. So like one of the things I did over the weekend was try to figure out if this is something that I want to vote for. So I have to pay more tax money for Smithville to do this. So I'm trying to figure out the pros and cons of becoming a part of the Maple Woods Community College system. And so that's a part of real life. All right, goal 3, you will be able to describe a speaker's argument, analyze how an author develops his or her point of view or purpose, and distinguishes it from those of others. Goal 4, you will be able to analyze how word choice contributes to meaning and tone. So this has a lot to do with when somebody tries to sell you something, and you may hear the words propaganda, they're appealing to certain emotions that you have through their tone and through what they're trying to tell you. So in your notes today, you'll learn a little bit more about that. And then goal 5, you will be able to acknowledge new information expressed by others, including those presented in diverse media, and when warranted, modifying your own views. So the idea with anything, when you research both sides or you listen to both sides of an argument, is that you aren't just stuck in your thinking, that you can change your mind based upon the evidence that you have read or that others have presented to you. So that's what we expect people to do. If there's sound reasoning behind what people have presented, and you find that to be relevant and credible, then you can change your mind. All right, so you are actually going to do a couple of things now. You're going to be taking notes over elements of the argument. You will have a tutorial link in Schoology, and you'll have a note-taking document. So when you go back to Schoology, you're going to see, and I will eventually publish this, you will see elements of an argument note sheet. And when you open this up, being very pokey. So it's going to open here, but you'll see that the Level Up tutorial is linked down at the bottom. So you will have to open up both. So for some reason, it's taken a little bit of time. All right, so you'll see here, use the Level Up tutorial linked here to complete your notes, you're expected to complete all questions and activities within the tutorial. So you'll figure out what it means to persuade someone, what a claim is, how you find claims, what you find claims in, what is support for a claim, what do you ask yourself when analyzing persuasive text, hint page 4, what are 5 common types of evidence. Here you need to snip a picture of your answers for evidence of page 7. And then which evidence best supports the claim on 8? What is a counter argument? Then you are going to look at emotional appeal, logical appeal, and then snip a picture of those persuasive techniques there. What is a commonplace assertion? Snip a picture here from page 14, and then complete the 5 questions and snip a picture here. So again, you have to go all the way to the bottom to get that level up tutorial so that you can complete the note sheet. And then the other thing that you will be doing is you are going to be considering the question and doing a discussion board on this. Which is better, online learning or face-to-face learning? So you guys have all sorts of experience here. So you will write a one-sentence claim stating your answer. Blank learning is better than blank learning. Okay, so whichever one you think is better. Add 2 details that support why you chose that answer. Okay, so blank learning is better because it has blank and blank. And so you will see this right here. That is your discussion board for the week. So hopefully you have a good discussion with your fellow online learners about what they think. And then the rest of this stuff really doesn't really apply to you because my face-to-face students didn't have access to certain things since they were not face-to-face, and we had 2 days of our ransomware thing that they had to do. So you guys are a little bit ahead of them. So this information down here, you guys don't have to do because that is something that you guys already did. All right. So if you have questions or concerns, please let me know. Feel free to email me back or email me or team message me. Have a great day and a great week.